Now, India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, left policy rates unchanged for the seventh consecutive time on Friday. Its Governor Shaktikant Das highlighted that strong economic growth has given room to the central bank to continue its focus on containing inflation at the 4% target on a durable basis.
The RBI's Monetary Policy Committee maintained status quo on rates, as was widely expected, while being cautious given the various uncertainties. Highlighting that inflation remains challenging, RBI's MPC decided to keep rates unchanged and maintained a withdrawal of accommodation stance.
The Reserve Bank MPC decided by a majority of 5-1 to keep the policy repo rate unchanged at 6.5%.
GDP forecast for FY25 is retained at 7%, and inflation projection for FY25 is also unchanged at 4.5% from the February 2024 policy.
CPI inflation for the current year 24-25 is projected at 4.5%, with Q1 at 4.9%, Q2 at 3.8%, Q3 at 4.6%, and Q4 at 4.5%. The risks are evenly balanced. Inflation has come down significantly but remains above the 4% target.
Core inflation, including services inflation, has been moderating in the last few months. However, the main concern of the central bank is the persistent high food inflation and the adverse impact of that on household inflationary expectations. Experts believe that RBI is likely to change MPC stance and cut rates in the second half of FY25. Until then, there will be a cautious pause by the MPC.
The economic situation is panning out as the MPC expected it to, even in February policy. We could see the window for rate cuts to open up only in second half of FY25. Until then, we see that there will be a cautious pause by the MPC with respect to its policy rates.
Enabling UPI for cash deposit facility, UPI access for prepaid payment instruments through third-party apps, and distribution of central bank digital currency through non-bank payment system operators are some of the additional measures announced by the central bank.
The GDP is robust and the inflation is moderating. However, the task is not over yet. The Reserve Bank of India will remain focused on aligning the target of inflation on durable basis. Shama Mishra, DD India, Mumbai.
And former Principal Economic Advisor to the Government of India, Sanjeev Sanyal, has given a thumbs up to the RBI's latest monetary policy review. He said the growth of the Indian economy remains high while maintaining macroeconomic stability.
The economic assessment of the Monetary Policy Committee, as announced by Governor Shaktikant Das, is spot on in my view. The economy is in good nick. We got very strong growth in the last financial year, about 8% plus, and their assessment is that it will grow at about 7%, which I think is a very good rate. It will still make us the world fastest growing economy into this financial year as well. But what is important is that this is being achieved while maintaining macroeconomic stability. And I cannot emphasize this more, because it is possible to get occasional spurts of growth, but in order to sustain it, you need to have macro stability. And so here we see that inflation is expected to be around about 4.5%, well within the 2 to 6% range.